Donnie and Dolly, the team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Just ahead of Thomas Drance, it is Friday. All guests brought to you by Langley Chrysler. Don't struggle to find a great deal on new or used vehicles when Langley Chrysler has over 200 vehicles on the lot. Save up to $10,500 on Ram at Langley Chrysler, in-store or online at langleychrysler.com. Saul in Alberni into the Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. It's an early, is it just me? Where I lost it now. I'm losing.
We got 500 emails.
I know it's hard.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Parker from Tawasin. We'll get to the other one later on.
Yeah.
Season ticket holder here, just running when the Donnie and Dolly branded paper bags for covering faces at the game will be available in the merchandise store.
No. Hey,
imagine how much trouble we get for that.
No. It's everything's positive here from here on in. No more negativity. No paper bags with Donnie and Dolly on it. Not here, boy. No.
No more negativity. Hey, have you checked what's going on with the
Did I not tell you? I went to the pharmacy at Save-On, got my positivity pills.
That was for something else. Joining us from the Athletic is Thomas Drance, Canucks and Jets tonight. How are you, sir?
Oh, phew. You just cut to me. I'm glad I got my paper bag off my head.
Oh,
good. Well, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Good.
And we're both wearing green. Good stuff, Thomas.
Olive drab, boys. Let's do it.
We look good.
How do you think Jim Benning came across yesterday in his media conference, Thomas?
I thought about it a little bit today. Sorry, Ryan
okay.
just texted me to adjust my camera.
That's okay.
How am I looking now, Ryan?
Oh, good.
Perfect. All right. I've thought about it a little bit overnight because at first blush, my take was just that Benning didn't answer the questions I still have about this club, which fundamentally at this point can't be answered by him, right? Fundamentally, the thing I want to know about what the Canucks are still doing here is, like, why have they tolerated this run of poor results, this high level of spending for so long? And that's a question that only ownership can answer. But as I slept on it and reflected on it a little bit, gentlemen, I thought about it and I thought, didn't Jim sound like the Canucks look on the ice?
Yes.
Like a little bit inconsistent, sort of created a sense of sympathy more than confidence. Not a lot of answers. Like Jim basically sort of looked and sounded the way the Canucks look and perform on the ice. And as I sort of thought about that a little bit further, it does suggest to me, what we're seeing on the ice does not exist in isolation, right? Like this team does need to get back to winning in the boardroom if they're going to win on the ice again at some point.
He says he's not worried about job security. Should he be?
Well, I mean, I'm not worried about job security is sort of a suggestion that, it's certainly an open question. It's a fair question, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't a defiant answer, was it, Donnie? Right? No. It was a resigned answer. And, I thought that spoke volumes, as did the fact that, asked directly about Travis Green's job security, right? Jim Benning basically said, everything's on the table. And I actually appreciated that because if he'd come out with the dreaded vote of confidence, right, we all would have been like, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We believe that, so it did feel like, honestly, to me, Donnie, Dolly, it felt to me a little bit like the beginning of the end of an era, to be totally honest with you. It just felt like, no matter how this goes, unless the Canucks reel off a run of inspired form, which I don't think any of us believe they have in them, just based on the talent on the roster, something's going to have to give here.
Thomas, we got a lot of text today into the Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox about who to trade, who not to trade. Brock Besser seems to be a lot of people targeting him. And, is he a guy that could possibly be shipped out in your eyes at some point?
I mean, he's the last guy, in my view, right? He's the closest to what I'd consider to be the three untouchables. If you're looking at this from a set of fresh eyes, like what would you expect say the Canucks change management, for hypothetically, right? A new guy comes in. What would they do, right? What, with a fresh set of eyes, what would they do, right? And I think the three untouchables would be the goalie, Thatcher Demko, the puck-moving defenseman, Quinn Hughes, the centerman, Elias Pettersson, right? That's the foundation of what should be a pretty good team for years and years to come. And effectively, I think everything outside of that, especially once you factor in the contract status, right? The reason Besser's an interesting one is that $7.5 million qualifying offer, right? The reason that Bo Horvat's a more interesting one is he's only got 2 years left on his deal, and he'll be 28 when his contract expires. The reason JT Miller, same thing, 2 years left on his deal, he'll be 30 when his deal expires. So, you're sort of making different types of judgment calls on those players that are a little bit divorced from their form or their performance on the ice and a little bit more connected to, their contract status and the business side of the game and cap management. So as I think about, who's sort of where Brock Besser fits within that untouchable trade order, like you do get to him before you get to the center, the defender, and the goaltender, but you should get to him last among the other players.
Thomas, their PK is 32nd and last in the National Hockey League. Travis Green talked about it yesterday. He talked less about systems and personnel and more about execution. What are you seeing? Because I think it's a giant question mark, not only amongst the fan base and media, but amongst the players and coaching staff as well.
I see an act of God, Donnie.
Yes.
There's a level of inevitability when the Canucks are shorthanded that I've rarely seen in hockey, right? It's, and I think about that first Avalanche goal where it's not just that they scored and it's not just that you knew they'd score for the entire 2 minutes. It's that before they scored, 5 seconds before they scored, they missed an open net tap in backdoor, and then they hit the post and then they scored, right? It was just like, oh, that's like, the hero's going to get saved at the last moment in an action movie. The Canucks are going to surrender a goal at the last second on any penalty killing opportunity. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the personnel, and I think, I'm thinking about this Jets game a fair bit, right? This is a game you have to win. Like that third period in overtime in Edmonton last night, that was high energy, scintillating. That's the type of moment in a game, a type of moment in your season that tends to leave a team a little bit emotionally drained, right? And they're going to face Eric Comrie tonight, almost surely. They're going to get the backup. They're going to get a tired team. They're going to get an emotionally exhausted team in all likelihood. And yet, as I think about what the Jets can do, and I think about the danger they pose, top line item, they have a lot of speed at forward. And every time this Canucks team plays a team with forward speed, they're on their heels the whole night. Mm-hmm. They're on their heels the whole night. And why is that? Because they don't have a fast enough defense. They can't transition the puck well enough. They just don't have enough two-way intelligence or speed on the back end to handle teams like this. So this is still a dangerous game, even though it should be a Jets schedule loss. And as I think about the penalty kill, when Green talks about execution, I think he's mostly talking about little things, getting the puck out, sort of small mistakes that add up. And a lot of that is on the forwards. But the concern for me remains that I look at this defense core and just think this team, forget not having the horses. Like this team has a bunch, of like greyhounds. They're trying to win the Kentucky Derby with greyhounds, and they got the wrong species. And it's a problem. Like it's a problem, and I just don't know how you design your way tactically out of that. Like I don't think it's possible.
Rick. You wanted to
Thomas,
exit this interview with something special.
Thomas, we found your twin brother.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did some investigation. Poster up. Bruce Willis.
Oh,
Bruce.
Wow.
Bruce.
Wow. He'll take that.
Yeah, bald is beautiful.
No kidding. No
bald
kidding.
Is beautiful.
I don't look nearly so good in a shirt, although I do actually have an undershirt under this, so we could. I have my diehard vest on under my button-up. So
Bruce Willis,
rather fitting.
Well, are you wearing shoes?
I'm wearing Blundstones. I'm from Vancouver.
Don. No. I thought maybe you're bare feet. Bruce Willis, diehard. No,
yeah.
Anybody
Yeah,
shoot the glass? Okay.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki.
No, we're not going there. Hey, we're in enough. We're like the rest of the media. We're in enough trouble right now, so we don't want to.
Yeah.
None of that yippee-ki-yay stuff.
CRTC.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you guys next week with a vengeance.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.